become a person
Yeah,
that's
you'd like
so
me
out
to
of touch.
die, right? You'd like me
I
to
don't want.
die.
I have no desire for you to
Okay,
die.
okay,
I
so
have a
let's get away
desire
from the
to
rhetoric.
recognize
Let's
that
get away from the
you're
rhetoric.
complete.
Come on,
You're
let's talk
completely
about
out of
facts.
touch with any sort of empathy or humanity. You've gone.
Okay, so can we just talk about the facts here and not over? Oh,
No,
think
because
about
you're a bullshitter. There's no
think
facts.
about the children.
You don't
Don't
even
That's all
stop.
want.
you,
Please
you
don't.
You don't.
That's all
You're
you're
I beg
completely.
you,
You're
please don't
completely
do that.
spineless. You're not even going to say what you
No,
think.
you're just
At least have
no,
the
you're
fucking
just
balls
clutching. Look, you're just clutching
I
your
dislike
pearls.
Jews, to say I dislike whoever it is that
Look,
is not in my race, and I don't mind them starving to death. I don't mind little kids dying.
you just
Let's
have
have the
no,
fucking balls to say what
you
you
just
believe.
have no conception of
You're
what
the
I
worst kind
understand.
of spinelessness. You both want to have the hatred and
You're
lack of
just
empathy,
look,
and you have no balls to sort of admit who you are. You're not some
look.
good intellectual character. You're just some unempathetic,
Yeah,
sad
nice
little
rhetoric.
boy that
Nice
doesn't care
rhetoric.
about anyone but himself.
Rhetoric. Okay, so look, you're just clutching pearls. I agree, children dying is terrible, right? I nearly died as a child. Okay, I understand that children suffering and people. I mean, look, you're just trying to paint me as some kind of psychopath. It's really strange. Nice pathology.
I think. Look, there's a sense in which we can get desensitized to things like this because it's been so overly portrayed in the media. But when you take
No,
a step back, hold on. When you take a step back and you just ask someone, do you think it takes some kind of, you know, disgusting character to be able to see these people suffering and not care and not want to stop it? And you have to hesitate and give me some bullshit about the numbers and start thinking about it and try to find a fucking weaselly way to weasel yourself out of another commitment of some kind of a view. Just say I'm a fucking disgusting human being that has disgusting views. That's
so
it. That's
okay,
a much
back to
easier way to get.
good rhetoric. Good rhetoric. So no,
I don't
look,
think this is good rhetoric. I think I'm showing
think
myself
that
as
what
weak that you're
happened.
annoying me. I don't
Look,
think I'm
I
being
think that
I'm
what
doing
happened.
good rhetoric. I just
Look,
find you annoying. I find you
talk?
pathetic and disgusting.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Just keep naming. Just keep
It's not
calling
good
me
rhetoric.
names.
I'm going to feel bad that I said this to you. Even.
Just keep
I'm just
calling
saying.
me names.
I think you're not a good person. I don't think you care about other people in a way that I like people to care about.
Are you done with the name calling and the
No,
poisoning
I'm
as
going to
well?
continue.
Can
I'm going to continue to explain myself,
Why?
right? Because you annoyed me again.
Can I finish a sentence?
You get under my skin every time I talk to you.
Are you just gonna do the same thing that you did a few hours ago and just not let me talk in the slightest?
Evidently.
Yeah, of course. Evidently, it seems. I mean, what does that
is there a
make
point in you talking? I mean, you're just gonna.
So look, like
you're
I
just
said,
gonna be
look,
dishonest.
You're trying to paint me. Look, you're trying to paint me as some kind of guy that doesn't have any empathy, and that's just so strange. Like I said, I have plenty of empathy. My family was deeply affected by World War II. A large part of the reason.
How is that evidence that
I have
as evidence for empathy? You're saying as evidence of empathy. Your point is I was largely affected. That's the words of a psychopath.
Look, I have all the empathy
because I felt pain. That's.
Look, I have all the empathy in the world for my family members and other people who struggled through this absolute travesty. It's a tragedy what happened during that time. I mean, I would never want it to happen to anybody. It's really sad to think about the fact that.
Then why do you have a hard time saying that someone who? So why do you have a hard time saying that it was evil?
Look, can I finish? Look, you just want to keep painting me as this kind of just.
I have no desire.
This boogeyman. This just out to.
I have a desire not to upset you, even, but I just can't help it. It's not a desire.
I think I just have some psychopathic lust for killing or something. It's just so strange.
No, I think you have a dislike of other people for some reason. So that's so strong that you're incapable of sort of being in touch with normal human instincts.
I just think you're really high strung and you're seeing things that aren't actually there. So
yeah, I was rated most laid back in this Discord server.
Sure, I'm sure. Look, so look,
I was nominated.
Let's get back to reality. Let's. I'm just gonna ignore all the things you said. Right? I'm gonna be the bigger man and realize that I'm just.
You're not a bigger man. A bigger man would admit. Look, I have more respect.
And whatever. Look, you said all sorts of very mean things to me.
I know what he's thinking, and he's willing to at least admit what he's thinking. I don't think he's hiding something. I think
I'm not. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get back to what I believe and not talk about this petty bullshit about personality and character. Okay. So what I actually believe is, like I said, Anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 people died in Auschwitz. That's a fucking lot of people, right? It's a lot of fucking people that died in Auschwitz,
See,
okay?
even that, what my guess is what you're trying to do is point out that the numbers that people believe are higher. See, that's your goal, but you're not going to say that's my goal. You're gonna say
First of all,
the
that is no.
opposite.
First of all, that
Wait,
is
wait,
the
hold
case.
on, hold on. See, this is what I mean by a
No,
fucking
yes, that's
weasel.
the case.
Let me
What
just
do you
show
mean?
the key to identifying a weasel. The weasel wants people to hear the numbers that people are saying are much higher than they really are, but instead he says, "Look, it was 100,000. That's a huge amount, right?" That's what I mean by fucking being a weasel. Just come out and fucking say, "I think you guys are exaggerating it," and that's the argument I'd like to make.
I've said that before. I've made that
Just
clear.
come out and say it directly.
Look,
Don't give me this fucking
this
fake.
conversation
Don't
isn't
give me
about
this
the
fake
exaggeration.
empathizing. Don't give me this
Look,
fake empathizing about the 100,000, which you clearly
look,
don't give a
look.
shit about.
Okay. So after you spent nearly 10 minutes casting me as some unempathetic person, you're like, "Oh no, let's not talk about the empathy factor. Let's talk about the numbers and how they're exaggerated." That's what I was trying to get at 10 minutes ago, List. But you wanted to go on to the empathy route. You wanted to say, "I'm some horrible person that has no feelings of empathy or regard for anybody other than myself."
Oh,
But I'm
God.
not. It's just so stupid, Liz. Come on, let's. Do you even know what an actual discourse between two disagreeing parties is about, or have you just spent so much time with the pal talkers insulting people they don't even know what it means to have a normal discussion?
Jesus, do you think anyone listens to you, even the racists that don't call themselves racist, and takes you seriously when you make these types of statements? I mean, it'd be insane. It's on your sleeve that you're faking it. It's not even you're not good at hiding these things. Just get in touch with who
Hiding
you are.
what?
Just get in
Hiding
touch with who
what?
you are and just admit it. It's a much more respect.
Hiding what?
I'd have
Hiding
more.
what?
I'd have more respect for you
What?
if you said I hated Jews and I don't give a shit about the Holocaust. That I'd have more respect for you than I do now.
Look, why do you think I hate Jews? First of all, so strange. I mean, what have I ever
I
said that
think,
made it seem like I hate, like I
but
have this
I think you
visceral
hate. I
hatred?
think you hate everyone pretty much. But
Well, okay,
look,
yeah. Again, just back to Peel's to lack of empathy. Nice job, Liz.
well, so
You
I
just
think the fact that you find it hard to say that someone is evil after letting like children starve to death, makes me think that there's got to be something motivating that. Now, what is it? It could be that
okay,
you're a
okay,
complete
okay. Look,
psychopath. It could be
okay,
that you're a
look.
complete psychopath.
Okay,
That's
Liz,
I'm open
fine,
to that.
fine, Liz,
It
Liz.
could be that you're
Let's turn
so
it around.
tormented that you're out of
Okay,
touch with reality.
I get it,
It
Liz. I
could
get
be
it.
that you hate Jews. It could be that you hate all races other than your own.
Liz, I get it. Okay, Liz, I get it. I get it. I understand. I
Okay.
understand
Yeah.
why you think that. So let's turn it around, Liz. Do you think that Stalin was a bad guy, or Lenin? Lenin that caused all these deaths. Do you think that these people are bad guys?
Yeah, I would.
Oh,
I
but
would
you're
say.
hemming all the numbers, the particularities of the
Did he
situation.
not hear the word yes?
Oh,
This guy's a fucking idiot.
no, come on. I mean, don't you agree that? I mean, of course, the Black
Yeah.
Book
Look, I don't know that much. I
overstates.
don't know. I know about Stalin. I don't know that much about
Yeah,
Lenin. Okay, so Stalin, I would just definitively assume was an evil guy. Lenin, I don't know what kind of deaths he
I mean,
allowed.
there's quite a bit of arguments for political violence under Lenin.
If that's true, then I would say he was an evil guy. Yeah, I have no problem with that. What's your next little Weasley way, Weasel? Anything else?
Look. But then again, I mean, you're
Yeah,
getting into this nuance. So you think okay? So you think that okay? So you think that
Yaniv.
unequivocally?
Yaniv.
So you think that wait.
Who are you
Good.
talking to?
Okay,
Jesus.
Liz, I'm glad. So you think
yeah.
unequivocally?
Don't
Yeah.
abuse
You think
him.
that
He doesn't know any better.
unequivocally? Okay, good,
Yeah,
Liz. You think that
he gets under
unequivocally?
my skin. I don't know why.
Yeah, I noticed that. I
Liz,
don't know why that bothers you. He's like one of the
okay,
stupidest
so I'm
people in
glad.
here.
It's
I'm
not
glad.
because
So
he's
I think this will
I think he's a
illustrate.
weasel. He's like.
Look. So, oh, thanks for calling me.
Well, my point is
names.
like, I wouldn't get
That's
annoyed
a
with him.
really good character. It really shines when you call me names. So look, okay, List. I'm glad that you unequivocally, or I just want to make sure you unequivocally think that Stalin was a bad guy. Well, let's ignore Lenin. Let's just say Lenin was a good guy. Even for the sake of my argument, we'll just ignore Lenin, right? Just let's talk about Stalin, right? I think Stalin was unequivocally a bad guy, right?
Sorry, say that again.
Let's ignore Lenin. Let's pretend for the sake of this discussion that Lenin was a good guy, whatever that means, right? And you agree that Stalin was unequivocally a bad guy, an evil man.
You said, do I agree that Stalin was unequivocally a bad guy and evil man? Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
in the same way that Hitler was. Yeah, in the same way that Hitler was.
I don't know if I'd say in the same way because I mean I just don't know as much about Stalin.
Oh, hemming and hawing. Oh yeah, nuance.
Weasel.
No, like, okay,
Weasel. Are you
okay,
gonna
look,
weasel
so
this whole
either
conversation?
way, fine. Even if it isn't
Don't call him a
exactly
weasel.
the same. Look,
What?
even if it isn't
Hey,
in
what?
exactly
Yeah,
the
I know I
same
just
way.
shouldn't call you a
Liz,
weasel.
look,
You're being
look,
mean to Asus. Look, he doesn't.
I'm gonna let you hem
It's
and
not
haw.
look, like
Look,
you're not
look, I'm gonna
talking to
let
Vic
you
or
hem and haw.
Johnson.
Okay,
You're just talking. He literally doesn't know any better.
I don't think that's true.
Liz,
I think.
Liz. Okay, so I'll let
I think
you
you're
hem
giving
and
him too
haw,
much
Liz.
credit,
So
Yaniv. I think.
Yeah, I
the
have
whole-
more. No, I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think he's dumb.
Oh,
I
Like
think
he
he's
hasn't
just.
thought his
wow,
positions
you
through. Is
think
my
I'm
point. Like he may
Huh?
not be an idiot in
thank you,
general,
Liz.
but
I really
he
appreciate
hasn't thought these
Liz.
positions through at all.
Nobody
He's just-
takes
Yeah,
nobody
just
takes
causing
him.
inert.
Nobody takes him
Liz,
seriously.
Liz, can we get back? Look, Liz, can we get back to the discussion?
Yeah, he's just provocative, and they're not real. He's kind of harmless because they're not even real positions. Like he doesn't have any conviction in them.
You see, like I feel like Ken and Dio are kind of like more direct.
Yeah, you guys can go have your
No,
little.
yeah, he's an
jerk-off.
escape artist. Is that what you're referring to?
He's not even willing to admit his own views.
Well,
He
look,
wants-
the room has a name for what Asus does, and we call it micro adjusting. It's where he micro tweaks his position throughout a conversation in an ad hoc way. He's not really capable of clarity.
Whatever, even though I've clarified.
So my point is that his views can be changed.
Justin, I just undeafened, but based on the context in the last 3 seconds, I would assume you're talking about Ace.
Bingo.
That's pretty fucking amazing.
So look, okay, can we just get back to
See,
the
everybody
conversation,
knows.
Liz? So Liz, you would even with your hemming and hawing, even though they're not exactly the same, blah blah blah. Stalin is unequivocally a bad guy in a very similar vein to Hitler, right?
I mean, listen to him. It's hilarious.
Krill, do you know what we should talk about instead of Ace?
List, are you there? Do you hear me?
I do, unfortunately.
One sec, I'll be.
Krill, do you know what we should talk about instead of Ace and them?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Loud bag of chicken. You want me to approve it?
So
Yeah.
What the fuck is? What is that? I'm scared. Stop.
So, List, I've asked you this question 3 times, and I'm sure you've heard it and understand what I'm getting at. Could you answer
Who
that?
the fuck did that? That's so
I've been
fucking
very
rude.
patient.
Well, who the
It was
fuck did
Krill.
that?
Fuck you,
It was-
drunkie.
You're such a fucking piece of shit, Justin. I hope you get hit by a fucking
Look, Liz.
I didn't even
Are
do
you
it, but
there?
it's so hilarious
Who the
how
fuck
easy it
did
is.
that, though? Who
Listen,
the fuck did that?
calm down, monkey. What are you gonna do about it?
Look,
Jump
look,
through the
it was-
Ethernet cord? Shut the fuck up.
Pretty sure it was Krill. So, Liz,
Peter
look, I've repeated this question.
Peter Dinklage, Dinklage, ding.
Dia, are you mad at Krill? Probably deafened.
All right.
You suck
Liz,
that dick,
I mean,
yeah,
can we
that
just
sounds
maybe table
faggot.
this discussion for another time, or do you just want to complete it right now? I mean, don't leave me hanging.
It doesn't matter. But
Okay.
I feel like for me to have a conversation with you, I need you to be more honest.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay, so Liz, you
God,
heard
learn
me-
how to be
Not
honest.
Enough to have a conversation.
Liz,
My God.
I asked you. a
And Eve
very
is just shitting on you and your ancestors.
Jesus Christ, Liz, can you come up with something more original? You like 50 fucking times. You always go for somebody being honest. You do that again and again and again. It's just like pure fucking rhetoric.
I love how Krill attacks.
Do you want me to change it to say less Weasley instead of honest?
Yeah, fine, do something. I mean, it's just like
It's Krill drunk.
like a fucking soundboard. Christ.
Liz, okay, so
Krill likes to be the opposition.
Just give me an answer to my question, please.
What was your question?
God, please just answer his question and make him
that
stop.
I've got it muted this whole time. I can't hear a fucking thing.
Was unequivocally a bad person. Oh my gosh, why does everybody keep talking? So look,
Because we're done. We're done with you, please.
Krill,
Look,
ask me how many
do you
cats
not
I have.
believe?
Make it go away.
Why does he keep asking me the question
Stalin-
after I answer?
I don't know.
I said, from what I know about
I don't know.
Stalin, I do think he was unequivocally a bad person.
Good. Okay, I'm glad. So why do you associate with people who think that Stalin is a good person? Doesn't that make you guilty by association? This is your
I'm
argument.
like sick to my stomach.
No. Well, I've been waiting to deliver it. Simple argument. Simple argument.
I've been waiting.
That is my argument. It's quite simple. Could you please answer
I
my
think
simple
you've all
reply?
lost your minds.
Could you please answer
No, no one
I'll tell
cares.
you,
And I have 6 cats. If I could, I'd have all the.
You're
Okay,
killing
you
me.
get-
You're
this
just
is
Krill.
more evidence that
All right, we all
killing
got the trolling out of our system, and
Thank
let's get back
you.
to the conversation.
All right, get him, Asus. Show him your conclusive arguments.
are you asking me why I'm friends with Jack?
well,
Oh, God.
Squishy, plenty of other people that think Stalin was not that bad of a guy. The deaths, Black Book, over exaggerated. Ally propaganda. It's a very similar story.
Yeah, so you're asking me why I'm friends with Jack and Squishy?
Look, I'm just saying that. The thing is
Answer
You
the
asked me how I
question,
can be-
Nicholas.
You're asking me
Look,
how I can
you
be
may-
friends with
look,
someone.
okay, maybe
who
you can't read.
believes-
Look, maybe you can't read. Maybe you can't read between the lines. Okay. What I'm saying is look, you're making an argument that first of all, I have guilt by association by associating with people who have different and more extremist views than myself. And
When did I say that?
Well, by saying that, Nazis like Dio and Ken and Ace, right?
What? I never said
So,
that
so
you're
you're
guilty by
saying, so you're saying,
association.
so look, you basically have again and
When
again
did I say that?
either
No, I said
mistakenly.
no. I was
look,
using them to show you that even other people that I consider to be racist, I don't have this criticism of. I was using them as an example of how you could be if you were better.
No, it's just
Something
so
to
strange.
work
so look,
towards.
You constantly associate some of their more extremist arguments that I definitely don't agree with in the slightest. And you're basically saying that I secretly hold them, even though you don't know that what I actually hold. You say that I secretly hold these genocidal beliefs because I associate with specific people who may either joke about them, make memes about them. I mean, it's not even clear that they either Ken or Iron or Dio have genocidal beliefs. You just have intuited it.
What's your point?
So. Look, my point is that you are just you just have pure rhetoric. You're not actually addressing any of the points, right? Like I actually stated about the fact
your method of argumentation seems to be whatever someone insults you of, you just insult them back. Does that sound familiar? Like what age group usually does that?
No, that's not the case at all. I actually
I spent like an hour before showing you how talking to you about rhetoric, and now suddenly you're like blaming me on rhetoric.
Well, because I realize that some people project their own kind of.
Look, I have flaws. I have many flaws.
And I use rhetoric too. Look, I admit I use rhetoric. Okay, I admitted it back in that conversation. Okay, but like I said, I'm just making a point. That you accusing me of being overly rhetorical, I don't think that's actually the case. I think that I use probably less rhetoric than you, because you haven't been able to point out as much rhetoric on my side.
Look, I have a lot of flaws. If you need help identifying them, I can help you with those. You don't need to just like mirror things I say to you like a 5-year-old.
No, I can. No, look, I can understand people's character flaws just by talking with them. I think most people can do that, intuit those kinds of things. It's not hard. But I think that you were making a point of saying that I was just merely basing my arguments on rhetoric. And actually, to be honest, I think
That wasn't my argument.
You're now complaining.
I don't.
Caught you being
It's-
rhetorical so many times.
No, I think you're
Want
misunderstanding
to
my
brush
argument.
it off as if I'm just some retard that just echoes
I never said
other
that. If you're a
accusations that have been
retard,
made against him.
if I thought you were a retard, I'd probably have more empathy.
You
might be socially retarded.
You're just playing hide the ball. Again, I've caught you in the last few hours using rhetoric in an unfair way many more times than I have used the rhetoric in an unfair way, and now you're just complaining about it.
He's like, who do you think you're convincing? Who's the audience that you're appealing to here?
Quill?
I mean, you certainly
can
know
let
you're
me
not going
know.
to convince me with this nonsense.
Look, this is a waste of time. I'll talk to you guys.
That was hilarious.
I apologize. I don't know why he gets under my skin. Something about him.